Most people know about the strongest, most stable, and powerful world currencies. But what about the least valued world currencies? Who knows their names and what countries they are issued in? A weak currency refers to a nation's money that has seen its value decrease in comparison to other currencies. Weak currencies are often thought to be those of nations with poor economic fundamentals or systems of governance. A weak currency may also be encouraged by a country seeking to boost its exports in global markets. However, it is possible to identify certain devalued national currencies at the moment. Thus, let's look at the 10 cheapest foreign currencies against the US dollar and euro. The exchange rates of the least valued currencies were updated on the 22nd of March, 2024. The Rial, code IRR, is the official currency of Iran. It is subdivided into 100 dinars, but due to the Rial's low purchasing power, the dinar is not practically used. While POS terminals are in use in Iran, the country does not participate in any of the major international card networks due to sanctions between it and the United States. Travelers are instead advised to load money onto a local prepaid card account. While the Rial is not officially pegged to another currency, its exchange rate stabilized at around 42,000 IRR per US dollar beginning in April 2018. Iran's economy is largely based on petroleum refining and exports, but economic sanctions due to its nuclear program have stifled its position as a player in global finance and trade. IRR is sometimes considered to be a blocked or inconvertible currency, since it is not freely traded on the global foreign exchange market. The Dong, code VND, has been the currency of Vietnam since 3rd of May 1978. It is issued by the State Bank of Vietnam. The Dong was also the currency of the predecessor states of North Vietnam and South Vietnam, having replaced the previously used French Indochinese piastre. Vietnam is transitioning from a centralized economy to a market-based one. As a result, its currency, the Dong, is currently quite devalued. Presently, the Dong ranks second on the list of the world's weakest currencies. However, experts insist that the Vietnamese government is going the right way and may soon catch up with its closer Asian neighbors. The Leone is the currency of Sierra Leone. It is subdivided into 100 cents. It is one of the weakest currencies in the world, with its value relative to the US dollar declining significantly between June 2016 and December 2020. Sierra Leone is a very poor African country, which handled out many serious tests that caused the local money to devalue. Recently, a war took place there, and the deadly Ebola virus is recurrent. Sierra Leone's economy is heavily reliant on raw commodity exports, particularly in its diamond sector. In August 2021, the Bank of Sierra Leone has made a decision to redenominate the Sierra Leonean Leone. Old banknotes will be replaced with new ones called the New Leone, with the rate of 1 New Leone to 1,000 old SLL. The Kip, code AK, is the currency of Laos since 1955. Historically, one Kip was divided into 100 at, which are no longer in regular use. Coins and smaller bills are no longer used in the country because of high inflation. The kip is maintained by the country's central bank, Bank of the Lao PDR. It ranges in value from 1 to 100,000, although banknotes below 1,000 kip are no longer used. The kip floats freely against other currencies and is not pegged to any other currency. Although the country runs on a cash economy, travelers can use credit cards in major cities at large establishments, such as hotels and restaurants. They can also use the US dollar, which is commonly used in cash transactions. The rupiah, code IDR, is the official currency of Indonesia, issued and controlled by Bank Indonesia. Its name is derived from the Sanskrit word for silver, rupiahkam. The rupiah is divided into 100 cents Indonesian sen, although high inflation has rendered all coins and banknotes denominated in cents obsolete. Due to the Asian financial crisis, Indonesia abandoned the managed float and the currency became free-floating. In the ensuing years, the Indonesian rupiah continued to give back ground. Indonesia has a mixed economy in which both the private and government play an important role. The country is the largest economy in Southeast Asia, with a GDP in 2021 of $1.2 trillion. The Som, code UZS, is the official currency of Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan replaced the ruble, with the Som at par on July 16, 1994. No subdivisions of this Som were issued, and only banknotes were produced, in denominations of 1, 3, 5, 10, 25, 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000 Som. Because it was meant to be a transitional currency, the design was rather simplistic. Uzbekistan is also a big producer of gold, with the largest open-pit gold mine in the world. The country has substantial deposits of silver, strategic minerals, gas, and oil. As a result of the liberalization of their monetary policy from September 5, 2017, the exchange rate of the Som against the US dollar was set at 1 USD 8,100 UZS, with an estimated range of 8,150 UZS for 1 US dollar. The Guinean Franc, code GNF, is the currency of Guinea. It is subdivided into 100 centimes, but no centime denominations were ever issued. The Republic of Guinea was formerly known as French Guinea. Today it is often referred to as Guinea-Conakry, which refers to the name of its capital city to distinguish it from its neighboring country, Guinea-Bissau. Guinea's economy is fueled by a rich reserve of minerals, gold, high-grade iron ore, and diamonds. Additionally, it boasts one of the world's largest reserves of bauxite, which is one of the main exports for the West African nation. A high inflation rate, progressing poverty, and prospering gangsters devalued the currency of Guinea, the African country with one of the most inflated currencies. Guinea used to be part of the franc zone of former French colonies, using the CFA franc as its official currency until its independence. Many of its neighboring nations, 14 West African countries in total, 12 of which are former French colonies, still use the CFA franc. Together, they make up the African financial community. The Guarani, code PYG, is the national currency unit of Paraguay. The Guarani was divided into 100 centimos, but because of inflation, centimos are no longer in use. Paraguay is the second poorest South American country. It suffered a disastrous economic downturn, combining inflation, corruption, low education quality, an enormous number of poor people, high unemployment, etc. Paraguay's economy depends on its exports. It is the world's sixth largest producer of soybeans, but this is hardly enough to cover its economic needs, which is its primary export. The country is also one of the fastest growing exporters of electricity. The Riel, code KHR, is the currency of Cambodia. There have been two distinct Riel, the first issued between 1953 and May 1975. Between 1975 and 1980, the country had no monetary system. A second currency, also named Riel, has been issued since 20th of March 1980. Since the late 1990s, the Riel has had an unofficial fixed exchange rate of 4,101 with the United States dollar, Cambodia's second de facto currency for commercial transactions. Originally, the Riel had a low exchange rate and was not popular among locals who had decided to use foreign currencies. Foreign currencies, particularly US dollars, USD, are more popular in cities and international destinations. Businesses in cities are likely to list prices in USD. Overall, the economy is 90% dollarized. Many Cambodians prefer to use the US dollar for payments now, which causes the local currency to devalue even more. Colombian Peso, code CHUP, is the currency of Colombia. 1 COP is equal to 100 centavos. However, due to inflation, centavos are now out of circulation. This currency was first introduced in 1810 with the outbreak of the Colombian War of Independence from Spain to replace the Spanish real that was in circulation until then. At various times, the Colombian peso has been pegged to the French franc, the British pound sterling, and the US dollar. The economy of Colombia is the fourth largest in Latin America as measured by gross domestic product and the third largest economic power in South America. Devaluation has accelerated dramatically since 1980, when 1 USD equaled 50 COP. As of today, the Colombian peso has devalued about 3,000 times since its release. Out of top 10 or redenominated, lowest, cheapest currency in past. Denomination means a change in the nominal value of banknotes, usually after hyperinflation, to stabilize the currency and simplify calculations. During a denomination, old banknotes are exchanged for new ones, which as a rule have a smaller denomination. Due to this procedure, some of the currencies have left the above list. The shilling, code UGX, is the currency of Uganda. Officially divided into cents until 2013, due to substantial inflation, the shilling now has no subdivision. The Ugandan shilling is administered by the country's central bank, the Bank of Uganda, BOU. The bank has the sole authority to print and mint banknotes and coins. Agriculture is the most significant economic earner for Uganda, with coffee being one of the primary crops. Most of the population are subsistence farmers. The country has oil and gas resources, but they contribute little to the economy. The people of Uganda are one of the poorest in the world, which has led to undereducation. In 2010, the Bank of Uganda circulated an issue of shilling banknotes with enhanced security features and images depicting the nation's history and culture. Although the Ugandan shilling is a stable currency and is used in most financial transactions in Uganda, it isn't uncommon for people in the country to use the US dollar, USD, Great Britain pound, GBP, and the euro, EUR. Venezuelan sovereign bolivar suffered significantly from inflation due to COVID-19, so its value became record low in 2020. On the 1st of January 2008, that the hard bolivar, Bolivar Fuerte in Spanish, code VEF, replaced the original bolivar, code VEB. The rampant inflation prompted two redenominations. The first occurred in August 2018, when B's F100,000 were exchanged for one sovereign bolivar, Bolivar Soberano in Spanish, code VES, and another one happened on the 1st of October 2021, but called Nueva Expresión Monetaria, or New Monetary Expression, which removes 6 zeros from the currency without affecting its denomination, but did introduce a new ISO code VED at a rate of S1000,000 D1, thus making BSD1 worth Bs. 100,000, 100 trillion in short scale. Both currencies are in circulation, though the economy has undergone extensive currency substitution, so the majority of transactions happen in US dollars, or to a lesser extent, the Colombian Peso. The dobra is the currency of São Tomé and Príncipe. It is abbreviated DB and is divided into 100 centimos. The first dobra, STD, was introduced in 1977, replacing the escudo at par. Due to past inflation, on 1 January 2018, the dobra was redenominated at a rate of 1,000 to 1 and given the new ISO 42117 currency code, STN. São Tomé and Príncipe's economy was largely dependent on the production and export of cocoa beans, but because of a persistent drought in the region, exports of cocoa beans have declined in recent years. Other local agricultural exports from the country include coffee and palm oil, and the country is actively investing in its tourism industry. The São Tomé and Príncipe dobra is issued and maintained by the country's central bank, Banco Central de São Tomé and Príncipe. The dobra is pegged to the euro. Ruble or ruble, code BYN, is the currency of Belarus. It is subdivided into 100 kopecks. The Belarusian Republic appeared in 1992 after the USSR's collapse. It created its national currency, the Belarusian ruble, which exchange rate remains stable since 2016. High taxes, inflation, corruption, and political restrictions had led to a very low price for this currency on the global market. In July 2016, a new ruble was introduced, code BYN, at a rate of 1 BYN equals 10,000 BYR. Old and new rubles circulated in parallel from 1st July to 31st of December 2016. Belarus also issued coins for general circulation for the first time. 7 banknote denominations and 8 coin denominations are in circulation as of 1st of July 2016.